to Cape Town now. Residents of Macassar near Cape Town are calling for the police to step in. That's because of an alarming number of dead bodies found there. At least 4 were discovered in just 1 week, and residents are attributing this to a lack of police on the ground. To tell us more, we're joined by Russell Williams from the Macassar Community Policing Forum. Russell, thank you so much for your time and good morning. I mean, you know, we understand the police and population ratio 1:941. It is untenable. It is simply not working. What else do you attribute the lack of policing to?
Good morning, viewers. Thanks for the opportunity to be on the show this morning. Macassar is quite a
Russell, your video is off. Can you just switch on your video so we can have you on our screen? So again, you know, I'm sure you've lived with this problem for quite a while. What do you think, that there is just lack of intention, or is it lack of resources? What is the problem?
The problem is it's the lack of resources, my dear. If you look at Macassar, it's quite a huge area. It's about 28 kilometers, square meters is the area coverage, and it is a huge area where we only have 2 police vans patrolling. The issue is what happens sometimes is when the police gets called out for an incident, something is happening or they need, then there's no resources doing patrolling. And like I'm saying, we're quite huge. We used to be an area of 35,000 population by 2011, but that has doubled. We're almost now to 65,000. And from now on, the police services didn't increase. It's not that we don't get the services, but it's limited. And that is an opportunity for thugs to make use of this time to do all these devious things. Then we also have a teething problem with ESCOM, which is, it's like never ending for we as the community in Macassar. And it's just going on, and that is unacceptable for us.
I'm not sure if you have experiencing load shedding, as you mentioned about the problems with ESCOM. Your picture is a bit dark. So I'm not sure if you'd be able to adjust, tilt down a little bit, Russell. And you know, just to lead into the next question, just give us the demographics, the living conditions of Macassar, and why there is such, or Macassar, I beg your pardon, and why there is such a high level of particularly violent crimes such as murder.
Macassar is, like I said, is big. We got 2 high schools. We got 5 primary schools. We got also quite a huge, big rural area, which falls between. It's very quiet, and like I said, it's a rural area. A lot of things can happen. Some is part in the nature reserve, which is quiet. There's also sand mines, which is a dark area. And where neighborhood watchers in our area only can patrol by foot with a torch, and that is the best that we can do as a community to combat crime. But we also urge all the law enforcement people to get on board, especially SAPs, because they are the leading role players in our area, to come and help us as a community to combat crime together in this area.
Yeah, yes, we also believe from our report on Obesutihejane that Macassar has been used as a dumping ground for others to conceal, obviously, their crime. It's not necessarily members of the community from Macassar. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I can confirm that. 2 of the bodies was identified in the area. It wasn't people from Macassar, but that is for us a huge concern, because Macassar is a very close-knitted community where we all work together hand in hand, and for us it sends shock to us. But what is more shocking is these things occur during load shedding, and we as an area in Macassar have extended load shedding problems. Sometimes electricity only goes on an hour or 2 after load shedding has ended and was supposed to go on, and that is also teething problems which we're having with ESCOM, and it is really unacceptable, and it's frustrated for us as a community.
Yeah, now you lament the lack of resources, as you mentioned earlier on, particularly when you report crimes, and the police response is lacking, to say the least. But why is it that you are reporting at an Athlone police station and not one nearer to you?
We fall under the cluster of Kailitsa. The Athlone thing is when you get intoxicated, they take the people to that side for testing and things. But like I'm saying, it's not supposed to be like this. We shouldn't call somebody else, our neighboring town, for resources to come and help us. And once that is done, then they move back. There should be a permanent solution for our area. Like I said, the population has almost grown from 2011 up until now, 2023, almost double. And SAPS didn't change ever since. They stagnate. It's still the same story. For me, being a member of the CPS for the past 10 years now, it is an ongoing battle, and sometimes we feel like we're fighting a losing battle. We're handing in memorandums, we're handing in protest things, but still, it feels like it falls on deaf ears, and it's not been addressed to.
Is it your view that it's obviously areas that are in the fringes of tourist attractions that are poorly resourced and where crime is more prevalent? Because one would like to believe the Western Province is very well run and that the parts that we do see of Cape Town in particular that works is not what you are reflecting at the moment. Do you think these are areas that have been neglected purely because they're outside the so-called formal economy?
Yes, my dear, I would totally agree with you. If you look just past us, is Somerset West, and then you get Khayelitsha, and then you get Macassar, and then you get all those things, and that is, it's like a grey area. It seems to me nothing has been done. We're not the only community with this. I'm speaking. If I look at our neighbors, Khayelitsha, they also have teething problems in crime and things. Honestly, seriously, with all the respect, the minister should really come to the ground, and I would actually invite him come to Macassar so that you can see yourself what's going on, what we're facing, and pointing out the areas, how it looks, how it goes. And this is my plea as a community person from the CPF. We as a community, Macassar, we desperately need more visibility from SAPS, more help, more resources. Daily, you read on social media on things, how people doesn't trust SAPS because of those type of things. People would say, for instance, I called SAPS a few days ago. They're still waiting on the response, and those type of things. I mean, nobody in this country, not even only Macassar, deserves treatment like this, because SAPS is a national entity and they need to come to the party and service, bring down the crime in our area, not only in our area, but in the whole of South Africa. And that is my plea towards the SAPS, really to gear up and step up and bring really service delivery to our people on the ground.
Yeah, and Russell, I mean, policing safety and security is a government prerogative. That's something that they ought to provide. But the fact that you now have to rely on community policing forums, kudos to you, because that is the last line of defense, it seems. So how further have you engaged with the province and your ward councillors to intervene in this matter?
We handed a memorandum in early April to the SAPS in Cape Town. We did get some assistance, but really it is minimal because it's only like it did one operation and that's it. When it gets to our ward councillor, he's working hand in hand with we, the community. He's doing a stern job. He's trying his best. Even in his ward allocation budget, he make provision for some donation towards the neighborhood watches, for bicycles, for torches, for equipment, so that we can beef up security in the area. And for that, we really also need to thank the city for that support in that essence, ma'am.
All right, all the best, Russell. Thank you indeed for joining us. That's Russell Williams from the Macassar Community Policing Forum near Cape Town, reporting there that it's been used as a dumping ground for dead bodies, and the community is calling for assistance, just basic resources for themselves to protect their families and loved ones.